This news update is brought to you by...
Say hello to Chelsea. Chelsea is a champion surfer, so she's accustomed to moving super fast, which is why she relies on super fast broadband brought to her through Flow's 100% fiber to the home network. It keeps her family sharing and surfing and saving each month. Combined, she bundles her Flow mobile, home phone, and TV services, so she can enjoy much more for much less, and so can you. Visit any Flow retail outlet, call 1-800-804-2994, or visit discoverflow.co to find out more. One-of-a-kind connection. This is how we flow.
It's Tuesday, April 5, and time for the Barbados Today Evening Update. Thanks for joining us. I am Frenella Wedderburn. We begin with news of an emergency shut-off of water supplies across 4 parishes tonight. As of 6 p.m., residents in St. John, St. Thomas, St. Philip and St. George will experience either low water pressure or outages. The Barbados Water Authority says this is due to dangerously low water levels at the Golden Ridge pumping station. However, the BWA's acting chief engineer, Charles Marville, tells Barbados Today the prison will not be affected.
Well, the ridge covers a lot of areas. There's a fairly large system from Moncrief in St. Philip to Church View in St. John, out to Shop Hill in St. Thomas, down to Walkers in George, Tate Hill in St. George. So it's a fairly big area. But we are going to, this is only for tonight, and we will assess the situation tomorrow. And then we will determine again if it is necessary for us to continue.
In other news, former Prime Minister Wayne Arthur sends a strong word of warning to the Front Stewart administration in the wake of the latest Moody's Investors Service report. Mr. Arthur warns that after a C comes a D. Therefore, the latest downgrade could only lead to Barbados moving into the dreaded economic category known as default. Arthur restated his warning today that the government is running out of time and that some drastic action needs to be taken now.
The government has to put a moratorium on supporting these so-called commercial private investments that cannot be justified on economic or financial grounds, because they will also go on to the debt. Mm-hmm. And that is the problem, not only in Barbados, but the attitude you should read the CDP report. It's a wonderful report. It says that the debt in recent times has not come from central government. So trying to deal with it by way of generating primary surpluses and fiscal is not going to be the answer. You have to address governance. Mm-hmm. And that is where there has been a reluctance, because they think they fear being unpopular. But sometimes they have to take the medicine in order to get well.
Trade unions in Barbados need to be more supportive of their members, so says political scientist Peter Wickham, who charges that representative bodies are abandoning their members in their times of need. He made the comments in his featured address at the Barbados Union of Teachers' 42nd Annual General Conference at the Almond Bay Conference Center last night.
You can rest assured that you will be held responsible for the breakdown of trust between yourselves and your membership, which is equally apparent. Sadly, in many of your efforts to remain apolitical and socially responsible, you have abandoned your members at a time when they need you most, and this to me is an unforgivable sin. There are of course others who can and will forgive you, but you have to work to regain the trust, and I think that this is an effort which you will need to recommit yourself to in the years to come. That is, if trade unionism in Barbados is to recover from this low point.
2 foreign nationals have been remanded to prison until Thursday on theft charges. 25-year-old Bulgarian Anton Nadev and 39-year-old Ukrainian Ruslan Lasker were arrested and charged on April 1 after police executed a search warrant at an apartment in which they were staying. Police seized a number of articles and devices and a quantity of money. Nadev is charged with the offense of going equipped. He is also jointly charged with Lasker for money laundering and going equipped. Meantime, Jamal Orlando Worrell of School Lane, Halls Road, St. Michael is on remand until May 4. Worrell appeared in the District A Magistrates Court today, charged with a number of drugs and firearms offences. The 30-year-old was arrested on April 1 and charged with 7 counts of illegal possession of firearms, possession of ammunition, possession of cannabis, possession with intent to supply cannabis, trafficking of cannabis, possession of cocaine, possession with intent to supply cocaine, and trafficking of cocaine. Police say the illegal items were discovered after search warrants were executed at School Lane, Halls Road, St. Michael.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
The 50th anniversary of Independence Secretariat and the National Cultural Foundation proudly present the theatrical production From Bossa to Barrow and Beyond.
We are not slaves.
Saturday, April 16th at 6:30 p.m. at the historic Golden Grove Plantation. Come, be a witness to history.
Aye, Nanny Greg.
Enter the ritual. Feel the power.
This country will be independent. And if I have to wake up all the sleeping angels in heaven, so be it.
From Bossa to Barrow and Beyond. April 16th. Tickets $50 adults, $10 youth and children. Available at all NCF outlets and at ticketpal.com.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
In news from the Caribbean, Interpol's chief detective in Venezuela has been arrested over allegations that he was involved in shipping 770 pounds of cocaine to the Dominican Republic. The 40-year-old is accused of using his post to allow a plane laden with the drugs to take off from the western side of the country. Dominican police searching the Cessna plane found 3 suitcases and 2 bags filled with cocaine. 16 people, including 5 Venezuelan military personnel and 3 airport personnel, are also being held in connection with the case. Further afield now, Iceland's Prime Minister becomes the first major casualty of the Panama Papers leak. He resigned after the president refused his request for Parliament to be dissolved to pave the way for new elections. The leaks from the Panama law firm Mossack Fonseca shows Sigmund Freud Gunn Lawson owning an offshore company named Wintris with his family. Gunn Lawson is accused of concealing millions of dollars worth of family assets. The agriculture minister is to take his place. He is one of dozens of high-profile global figures caught up in the huge Fonseca leak.
It really seems like this standoff that was really going on in Reykjavik throughout the better part of the day has now, I wouldn't say been decided, but certainly all parties have come together and seem to have worked something out at least. There was a statement that we've gotten from the deputy head of the Progressive Party, which is the party that the Prime Minister is also a part of, saying that the Prime Minister will resign, but that he will stay in place as the leader of the Progressive Party. So at least the first thing that these protesters were calling for, many people in the opposition were calling for as well, seems to be happening. And that is that the Prime Minister is resigning. But really, throughout the better part of the day, you could see a lot of political gambling going on. You could see a lot of political negotiations going on between the Prime Minister and the President, where at the beginning, a lot of people in the opposition were saying that the Prime Minister should resign. The Prime Minister, for his part, said not so fast. If I'm going to resign, everybody resigns. And he said that he wanted snap elections. He wanted to dissolve Parliament. Snap elections would have had to be held in around 45 days. So it seems as though all of this at this point in time will not happen. Still waiting to see what the political way forward will be for Iceland. But at least the main demand of the people who were protesting and who have scheduled to protest tonight again seems to be met. The Prime Minister, from the information that we're getting, is indeed resigning.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.tv. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on iZoom Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Frenella Wedderburn. Good evening.